So again, I was watching something, and it always happens when I'm watching something. It happens every time when I'm watching something. Like something will come up and it'll trigger like a past memory or a past happening that, or somebody that I've encountered. And I basically started thinking about an encounter that I had where, the person was, they were very negative and very cynical and very jaded by life and, past circumstances that had happened to them, that they just couldn't see anything past, darkness, danger, and negativity. And I was thinking to myself, like, how, life is very hard to maneuver through, yes. And I'm not trying to say I'm perfect or anything, but, one thing that I did have over other people, I can honestly say, is I had the ability to also see the positive, even though there was something very negative occurring in my life. So, this person, they could never see anything, and everything was dangerous, and everybody's the enemy, and everyone is used, as a pawn, and everything's transactional, and no new friends, and a bunch of stuff like that. And it was very confusing for me because I was like, well, I don't I don't really see the world like that. I think there's a lot of beautiful things out there, sure. And I'm not trying to sound like, what's that thing? Snow White, or whatever the other positive Disney princesses, weren't running around talking to fucking animals or whatever. Like, that's not what it is. I understand it's not kumbaya all the time, but I most certainly don't want to see everybody in every situation as a negative thing that I have to possibly maneuver around. Like, that's not realistic. So, this person, I just thought to myself, I was like, something must have really occurred in your life to where you can't see the positive side of anything, which to me is very ironic considering that everything has duality. Like, there's duality in everything, light, dark, yin, yang, good, evil, you know, positive, negative. Like, there's duality in everything. So, I mean, obviously, I didn't have that train of thought back in the day, like when I was going through all my stuff, and like I didn't literally say, "Oh, there's duality in everything," so I have to see the light in this situation. No, it wasn't like that. Obviously, I was going through some pretty weird, gnarly things, and so does everyone else. So sometimes it is hard to kind of tap into that other space, but I mean, there's enough things happening in the world and your own life to know that, hey, there's something greater that I need to reach for. Otherwise, I'm not gonna make it. That's really what it came down to. Like, I'm not gonna make it if I don't see that there's hope and light and have tunnel vision, that there's something at the end to look forward to amidst all the chaos that I have going on in my life. And so I just thought, like, man, like, and this person had been living like that for a long time, where they're always in fight or flight and survival mode, and that's no way to live, because you're not really living. You're just surviving at that point, and that's a pretty miserable existence, I would say. So don't, if you can help it, like, don't be like that, because like I said, like, that's not really living or existing. That's, you're just surviving, literally. And so there's tons of beautiful, positive things on the outside. Like I said, I'm not trying to sound like Snow White, running around talking to fucking animals and singing to birds. Like, it's not always going to be great, but if you can find something that brings you happiness and joy amidst the chaos, like, I mean, right now is a great time to try to do that. Please do. Otherwise, you are going to have a pretty miserable existence. And that's it.